This video would be so much easier if authors would just send me an email, text me, send me a letter. When's your next book coming out? But no, they don't decide to make my life a little easier. I just want to buy your book. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ashley Hannah and I'm the Moody Reader. And today I think we're talking about anticipated releases for 2024, which it might not bode well because all of my anticipated releases, nearly all of them, for 2023 were abysmal. They were just disappointing, and I have no hope anymore for books that I actually want to read coming out and me enjoying them. Like Hellbent by, what's her name? What's your name? Leigh Bardugo. The sequel to Ninth House, tragic. I hated it. But riddle me this, why is she back on my list for 2024? I don't know. So I will be using my phone to figure out what books are coming out when, and to figure out who is writing them, and possibly to look up more books because I don't even know. Like I'm really bad at the researching aspect of BookTube. I'm not great at it. I need some, what's that? Research and development? I don't know. Is that what it's called? I need a research team to help at Moody Reader Studios. I need some help. But these are the tentative release dates of these things. These are also books that I've seen in other people's thumbnails, and I'm like, I could like that. And so we're gonna figure out what these synopses are like together, because I have no idea what these books are about. All I know is that I've heard of the authors or I've read from them before, and I am hopeful. I'm hopeful. So the first book that I know that I would like to read is, or that I'd like to purchase is, let's start out strong because I usually love all the books from this author, and it is Middle of the Night by Riley Sager. Apparently, this is his first book with a male protagonist. He always writes from the perspective of women, and you know what? I always enjoy it. But here is the, here's when it's supposed to be released. Middle of the Night, which I kind of love the cover. It's super just like plain, and I love it. I love a plain Jane cover. And it's coming out June 18th of next year. Penguin Random House. If you want to send me this book, hit me up. I think I did get an arc from NetGalley of The Only One Left, and I did read that book and I did give it 5 stars, but I forgot to read the arc. I bought the book. I didn't read the arc, and I didn't review the arc. So I'm sorry, but send me the book because I love Riley Sager's work. I'm one of your biggest fans. Okay, so this says, the worst thing to ever happen on Hemlock Circle occurred in Ethan Marsh's backyard. One July night, 10-year-old Ethan and his best friend and neighbor Billy fell asleep in a tent set up on a manicured lawn in a quiet, quaint New Jersey cul-de-sac. In the morning, Ethan woke up alone. During the night, someone had sliced the tent open with a knife and taken Billy. He was never seen again. 30 years later, Ethan has reluctantly returned to his childhood home, plagued by bad dreams and insomnia. He begins to notice strange things happening in the middle of the night. Someone seems to be roaming the cul-de-sac at odd hours, and signs of Billy's presence keep appearing in Ethan's backyard. Is someone playing a cruel prank, or has Billy, long thought to be dead, somehow returned to Hemlock Circle? The mysterious occurrences prompt Ethan to investigate what really happened that night. A quest that reunites him with former friends and neighbors and leads him into the woods that surround Hemlock Circle. Woods where Billy claimed monsters roamed and where a mysterious institute does clandestine research on a crumbling estate. The closer Ethan gets to the truth, the more he realizes that no place, be it quiet forest or suburban street, is completely safe, and that the past has a way of haunting the present. Okay, I had this I had this terrible habit of when I'm reading something aloud, I didn't actually read it in my brain. So I'm going to read that one more time. Okay, so child gets taken, never seen again. Spooky things. Institute. I'm actually not a fan of that premise, but I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it, so you'll know if I like it or not. Honestly, I do think that Riley Sager needs to keep writing from the perspective of women. I'm sorry to say. But we'll see. Next. The next book that I definitely know that I want to get to is number 4 in a series, and it is Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. And I really enjoy this cover. It's by El Cosimano. It's coming out March 5th of next year. And it's about our lovely Finlay Donovan, who is a single mother of 2 children, and she is a mystery crime writer, and she gets mistaken for a hitwoman in the first book. And this one says, if you don't want any spoilers for number 4 in the series, skip to this timestamp and then you'll be home free. But this says, Finlay Donovan and her nanny/partner in crime, Vero, are in sore need of a girls' weekend away. They plan a trip to Atlantic City, but odds are, seeing as it's actually a cover story to negotiate a deal with a dangerous loan shark, save Vero's childhood crush, Javi, and hunt down a stolen car, it won't be all fun and games. When Finlay's ex-husband, Steven, and her mother insist on tagging along too, Finlay and Vero suddenly have too many meddlesome passengers along for the ride. Within hours of arriving in their seedy casino hotel, it becomes clear their rescue mission is going to be a bust. Javi's kidnapper, Marco, refuses to negotiate, demanding payment in full in exchange for Javi's life. But that's not all. He insists on knowing the whereabouts of his missing nephew, Ike, who mysteriously disappeared. Unable to confess what really happened to Ike, Finlay and Vero are forced to come up with a new plan. Sleuth out the location of Javi and the Aston Martin, then steal them both back. But when they sneak into the loan shark's suite to search for clues, they find more than they bargained for. Marco's already dead. They don't have a clue who murdered him, only that they themselves have a very convincing motive. Then 4 members of the police department unexpectedly show up in town, also looking for Ike. And after Finlay's night with hot cop Nick at the police academy, he's a little too eager to keep her close to his side. If Finlay can juggle a jealous ex-husband, 2 precocious kids, her mother's marital issues, a decomposing loan shark, and find Vero's missing boyfriend, she might get out of Atlantic City in one piece. But will she fold under the pressure and come clean about the things she's done, or be forced to double down? This is insanity, and I can't wait to read it. Next. Alright, let's go a little lighter for this one. This is probably one of the only, well no, there's 2 romances on this list that I am considering reading, and none of them are Vari McFarlane's, even though they should be, because Vari, what are you doing? Are you not putting out a book next year? Criminal. Anyways, so I am looking forward to buying Abby Jimenez's Just for the Summer, which is coming out April 2nd of next year, and I have no idea what this one's about, so we're gonna figure it out together. So this says, Justin has a curse, and thanks to a Reddit thread, it's now all over the internet. Every woman he dates goes on to find their soulmate the second they break up. When a woman slides into his DMs with the same problem, they come up with a plan. They'll date each other and break up. Their curses will cancel each other's out, and they'll both go on to find the love of their lives. It's a bonkers idea, and it just might work. Emma hasn't planned that her next assignment as a traveling nurse would be in Minnesota, but she and her best friend agree that dating Justin is too good of an opportunity to pass up, especially when they get to rent an adorable cottage on a private island in Lake Minnetonka. It's supposed to be a quick fling, just for the summer, but when Emma's toxic mother shows up and Justin has to assume guardianship of his 3 siblings, they're suddenly navigating a lot more than they expected, including catching real feelings for each other. But what if this time fate has actually brought the perfect pair together? I don't know. I'll reserve judgment. I will reserve it until further notice. All I know is that I've only read 2 Abby Jimenez works. The first one was the Happy Ever After playlist, which I did enjoy. And the second one was Yours Truly, which I didn't enjoy. So 3rd time's the charm, right? We'll see. Okay, let's go for another romance, why don't we? So I will be trying to read Funny Story by Emily Henry, and this is coming out April 23rd. So lots of April releases for these romances. Now, I want to read this because I am an Emily Henry fan. I did read, what are those books called? I read Beach Read, People You Meet on Vacation, and Book Lovers. Those are great. I love the first two a lot. The third, actually no, I like the sandwichy ones. I liked Beach Read and the third one. I didn't enjoy People Meet on Vacation that much, but I also read Happy Place, and I hated that book. So we're going to see if this actually works out for me. I think I will enjoy it, but let's see what it's actually about. So this says, Daphne always loved the way her fiancé Peter told their story. How they met on a blustery day, fell in love over an errant hat, and moved back to his lakeside hometown to begin their life together. He really was good at telling it, right up until the moment he realized he was actually in love with his childhood best friend Petra, which is how Daphne begins her new story. Stranded in beautiful Waning Bay, Michigan, without friends or family, but with a dream job as a children's librarian that barely pays the bills, and proposing to be roommates with the only person who could possibly understand her predicament, Petra's ex, Miles Nowick. Scruffy and chaotic, with a penchant for taking solace in the sounds of heartbreak love ballads, Miles is exactly the opposite of practical, buttoned-up Daphne, whose coworkers know so little about her they have a running bet that she's either FBI or in witness protection. The roommates mainly avoid one another until one day, while drowning in their sorrows, they form a tenuous friendship and a plan. If said plan also involves posting deliberately misleading photos of their summer adventures together, well, who could blame them? But it's all just for show, of course, because there's no way Daphne would actually start her new chapter by falling in love with her ex-fiance's new fiance's ex, right? Okay, that was incredibly too chaotic at the end when it really didn't need to be. Simplify it. Simplify it, Emily Henry. So, I will be reading this. I think I might like it. I just feel like there's way too much fake dating right now. Apparently the trope of 2024 for romance is fake dating and like inciting jealousy. Why is that? Why are we so jealous in 2024? I will indeed read it. The other thing is, I'm excited to read a book about a character named Daphne because I feel like Daphne is such a fun name. I love the name Daphne. I love that for her. Okay, the next book that I am looking forward to, which is by the author of the book that I did not enjoy this past year, Hellbent, and it is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. And I don't know where I'm going to put this on the screen, probably right there. This book will be coming out April 9th. Oh, gotta wait a while for that one. I have no idea what this one's about. All I know is the cover is fun and like gothic and like, what's that era? It's like King Louis the something? Baroque? Who knows? So this says, and also I really enjoyed, the reason why I stay buying Leigh Bardugo's crap is because I really like Six of Crows. And that's really the only thing, I mean, I did enjoy Ninth House, but Six of Crows got me good. Lock, Stock, and Barrel. I love that duology and will love it till the end of time. So I keep on buying other things. Hated the Shadow and Bone trilogy. That's a terrible trilogy. Trash. But this says, in a shabby house on a shabby street in the new capital of Madrid, Luzia Cotado uses scraps of magic to get through her days of endless toil as a scullion. But when her scheming mistress discovers the lump of a servant cowering in the kitchen is actually hiding a talent for little miracles, she demands Luzia use those gifts to better the family's social position. What begins as simple amusement for the bored nobility takes a perilous turn when Luzia garners the notice of Antonio Perez, the disgraced secretary to Spain's king. Still reeling from the defeat of his armada, the king is so desperate for any advantage in the war against England's heretic queen, and Perez will stop at nothing to regain the king's favor. Determined to seize this one chance to better her fortunes, Luzia plunges into a world of seers and alchemists, holy men and hucksters, where the line between magic, science, and fraud is never certain. I don't get it. I don't get it. I feel stupid. Okay, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna read it. And you'll know what I say about it. I feel like a lot of a lot of descriptions or like, blurbs for books are just unnecessarily confusing. And I don't like that. Whatever I just read, I don't like it, but I'm gonna read it. Okay? Okay. All right, let's see. Let's go to a book that I will be buying and reading because I read the first two and I loved the first one. Disappointed by the second one, but let's see if we can make up some ground here. Is Tidal Creatures by Shauna McGuire, and this one comes out June 4th of next year. It is the third book in the Alchemical Journeys series, and basically I don't even want to read the synopsis or the description because I don't want to know what's happening. All I know is Middle Game, the first book in the series, was great, and it was about these two siblings, Roger and Dodger, and their alchemical journey. And I just want to know how there can be more story, because the second book, I feel like these are just companion novels at this point. But who's to say? Next, let's go for a fantasy book, which I will not be giving a synopsis for because it's the fifth one in the series. But apparently, the Stormlight Archive number 5 is coming out next year, and it's called Knights of Wind and Truth. Now, at this point in time, I have not finished Rhythm of War. I've just started. I'm 20 pages into that 1,200-page tome, but I cannot wait to get to it. So that's all you need to know. I am actually kind of scared. I'm scared. I don't know what's going to happen, and I just don't want Brandon Sanderson to kill off any amazing characters. And like I said, I haven't read the 4th book, so pray for me. Okay, I think I only have a couple more books that I really want to get to, and one of them is, I feel like at this point I should stop giving Ruth Ware my money because she's very hit or miss with me, but I do want to read One Perfect Couple, which comes out May 21st, and again, it's by Ruth Ware, and because 0 Days was a real disappointment. It was a real flop of a book, but I read it, and it was just really boring, y'all. So this says, Lila is in a bit of a rut. Her postdoctoral research has fizzled out. She's pretty sure they won't extend her contract, and things with her boyfriend Nico, an aspiring actor, aren't going great. When the opportunity arises for Nico to join the cast of a new reality TV show, The Perfect Couple, she decides to try out with him. A whirlwind audition process later, Lila finds herself whisked off to a tropical paradise with Nico, boating through the Indian Ocean towards Ever After Island, where 2 of them will compete against 4 other couples, Bayer and Angel, Dan and Santana, Joel and Romy, and Connor and Xana, in order to win a cash prize. But not long after they arrive on the deserted island, things start to go wrong. After the first challenge leaves everyone rattled and angry, an overnight storm takes matters from bad to worse. Cut off from the mainland by miles of ocean, deprived of their phones, and unable to contact the crew that brought them there, the group must band together for survival. As tensions run high and fresh water runs low, Lila finds that this game show is all too real, and the stakes are life or death. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Sold. I will purchase. I will buy. I will review. Okay, the next book, I think the last book I'm going to talk about here will be a book that I'm not quite sure about that's coming out January 30th of next year, so very quickly. And it's called Come and Get It by Kylie Reed. Now, I did read Such a Fun Age. I give it 4 stars. I enjoyed it a lot. I don't remember what it's about. I think it's about a babysitter that gets accused of something. Who knows? But I really liked reading it, and I want to read the next one and the next book from this author. Did she have any more that came out before? I don't know. But this says, and it has a mercifully short description on Goodreads, and it says, it's 2017 at the University of Arkansas. Millie Cousins, a senior resident assistant, wants to graduate, get a job, and buy a house. Girl, same. So when Agatha Paul, a visiting professor and writer, offers Millie an easy yet unusual opportunity, she jumps at the chance. But Millie's starry-eyed hustle becomes jeopardized by odd new friends, vengeful dorm pranks, and illicit intrigue. A fresh and intimate portrait of desire, consumption, and reckless abandon, Come and Get It is a tension-filled story about money, indiscretion and bad behavior. Okay. I have no idea what that means, but I am interested. Let me tell you, I'm interested. I'm intrigued. Okay, and the last book that I am interested in reading is The Doors of Stone by Patrick Rothfuss, book number 3 in the Kingkiller Chronicles. Y'all, I know we're not ever going to get this book, but I'm going to keep hope alive. And to Patrick Rothfuss's team, if you get wind, you get word, if you haven't dropped him yet, if you get word that he's going to write this book and sell it anytime in my lifetime, then you had best send that book to my address. You can ask me for it and I'll give it to you. 123 Reader Street, Anytown, USA. And I will do all the PR for you. I will stand on the street corner and say, you need to read this book. So, yeah, I heard a rumor that this book was coming out next year. So, I'm going to spread that rumor far and wide. So, I really hope it comes out next year. It won't, but I'm hoping. And I think it's just going to be a cute little tradition on this channel to have this book on the list every single year for my anticipated releases video. I think the needs must. So I think those are all the books that I am, like, off the top of my head looking forward to. If there are any other books that I missed, like if you know that I like certain authors and they're coming out with books, please leave the book and the author in the comments down below, because like I said, I feel like I just need these authors to like personally text me when they're coming out with a book. Otherwise, I won't know. So, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again in the next video sometime soon.